Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and loud and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to men.
Henry Wadsworth Longfellow was one of America's greatest poets and penned the words to the famous poem, Christmas Bells, on Christmas Day, 1863. The early days of Longfellow's life was one of unbroken string of successes. He sailed through school, learned multiple languages, and published several fiction and nonfiction pieces. Mr. Longfellow would go on to obtain the role of Professor of Modern Languages at the prestigious Harvard University. In 1832, Henry fell in love and married Mary Potter, but his good fortune was short-lived. After only 4 years of marriage, Mary lost a baby, which caused her health to fail miserably. She passed away shortly thereafter.
I thought how as the day had come, the belfries of all Christendom had rolled along the unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Till ringing, singing on its way, the world revolved from night to day. A voice, a chime, a chance of line, of peace on earth, goodwill to men.
The world revolved from night to day. This signifies the sadness of Mary's death, turning to the joy of finding love again. A few years after Mary died, Henry would travel to Switzerland, where he met Frances Fanny Appleton. They were married and had 6 children whom he adored. They lived a happy life, but the world was changing around them. The years of tension between the North and the South reached a climax during the election of Abraham Lincoln on March 1861. That following April, Confederate forces fired upon Fort Sumner, South Carolina, and the Civil War formally began. Each battle after weakened an already broken country. Longfellow vehemently abhorred slavery, but he was against his older son Charlie joining the Union Army. At 17, Charlie was exempt from conscription for the present, but he knew it was only a matter of time.
From each black accursed mouth, the cannon thundered in the south, and with the sound the carols drowned of peace on earth, goodwill to men. It was as if an earthquake rent the heartstones of a continent, and made forlorn the households born of peace on earth, goodwill to men.
During this time, another tragedy occurred in Longfellow's life. His wife, Fanny, was badly burned in a tragic accident. In those days, medical treatment was not advanced, and he watched as his beloved Fanny succumbed to her injuries. Longfellow was distraught, and again took to the pen to convey his grief.
despair, I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men.
After his mother's death, 18-year-old Charles Longfellow quietly left his home and boarded a train bound for Washington, D.C. to join the Union Army. In November of that year, Charlie led his unit on patrol through a thicket where he was hit back by enemy fire and was paralyzed. Longfellow brought Charlie back to Boston and cared for him, but there seemed to be no improvement. That was the bleakest winter in Longfellow's life. Christmas Eve of that year found him sitting vigil over a sleeping Charlie, deep in despair. And as the quiet snowflakes fell gently outside, he wrote,
out of the bosom of the air, out of the cloud folds of her garments shaken, silent and soft and slow descends the snow. Even as the troubled heart doth make in the white countenance confession, the troubled sky reveals the grief it feels. O mighty God, why has this happened? Why am I visited with such calamity? I have lost 2 wives, a baby daughter, and now my oldest son is paralyzed and may not survive. Can you not see, God? Can you not feel this pain? Are you asleep? Are you there at all? Perhaps you are dead.
Longfellow, a man who faced tragedy and loss throughout his life, penned these words to capture the dissonance in his own heart and the world of injustice and violence he observed around him. But then he heard the Christmas bells ringing in Cambridge and the singing of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And from the midst of bleak despair, he's led to the confident truth that God is alive and righteousness shall prevail.